What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, and my links are in the description below. I write comics and novels, and if you like Batman, you would really love my Flying Spark, so make sure to check that out. I appreciate everybody who supports the channel and buys the books. You guys are awesome, and a lot of fun. All right, this is Batman New Gotham Volume 1, Greg Rucka's era, and as you can see, it's about 12 issues of content. It collects Detective Comics numbers 742 to 753. This is right outside of No Man's Land. Ed Brubaker's writing Batman at the time, and Greg Rucka's writing Detective Comics. And basically the city's under repair. They're getting things back. And you learn a little bit about Gordon. Some officers are dead at the beginning of this, and they're hunting down the criminals who are dealing with that. Now, there's a very interesting coloring style that goes throughout this book where you got basically 2 colors or 3 colors per page, and they did this to give a noir feel, I think. With some of the art, it looks really cartoony, and it looks like they just skimped on the coloring at a lot of spots. It gets kind of lazier as it goes along. It's kind of interesting to look at for an issue or two, but once you read this whole thing, not so much. All right, then it switches to this, and as you can see, now the coloring's really getting kind of odd here. I'm just not a fan. Some people might like it. Not my thing. It really deters me wanting to read this, unfortunately. But the storytelling is actually pretty good. Sometimes the penciling is all right. Can be a little lazy at points, but sometimes it's all right. Basically, there's this girl, and she is called Whisper, and she is working for Ra's al Ghul, and she's getting this immortality elixir drug out to people. And while she's setting up this gang wars in Gotham, there's these 5 gangs who have kind of taken over as No Man's Land's come back out, and Batman's trying to find his way through this. I don't know. I don't love the art, I gotta say, all the way around. Yeah. Anyway, the story works pretty well. She kind of makes her way around town. Batman's kind of noticing her. She's got this elixir, and you can prolong her life. I guess she's 80 years old, but you need to keep taking it. It's like a drug, right? And Batman eventually gets in the middle of this gang war with her. Yeah, I'm sorry. The art's tough through this volume. It's not my thing. Some people might like it. It's very stylized. And eventually he stops her, of course, from doing what she does. She looks like she dies kind of at the end, but she also molts her skin because this is she's got cobra blood in her or something. It's unclear. It's interesting. I like the storyline quite a bit, though. It was fun. All right, happy birthday. This is Rene Montoya, and she's got some flowers, and she's trying to hunt down who's given her the flowers. And Rene Montoya and all these officers end up in Gotham Central. So I don't know if this is a prelude to this or if this is going on during this, so we kind of introduce all the characters. Pretty neat stuff. Turns out Harvey Dent was giving her the flowers, and she goes and visits him real quick. Really cute, and that was a wonderful personal storyline. I really loved that, actually. Then we get back into some fight, and there's this bombings going on, and there's in this they've got a lot of reference to No Man's Land still. You've always got these events that are going to change Gotham forever, right? And it changes it for a bit, and they keep referencing it for a bit. Then they kind of slowly drop those references over the next couple years, and then status quo's back to normal. Amazing how they do that in comics. But there's there's OG Gothamites, who are the originals, and then there's people they call DZs, who are deserters, and there's a real anger brewing between them, and so these OGs are allegedly blowing up stuff, but it turns out to be a twist as they figure that out. And then Batman goes and chases after Talia al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul because of what happened to Batman prior to that. Goes to Europe, finds this drug stuff, busts up Ra's al Ghul's day. As you can see, the colorings really become almost black and white at this point. They're very two-toned, and it's gone even less than it was before. I don't know. So he busts up that. Talia and Ra's al Ghul escape, but he busts up their whole operation. He gets back, and Poison Ivy's taking over this park. She's got these kids in there. Turns out they're orphans from No Man's Land. A kind of odd look for Poison Ivy there. Again, I'm not a big fan of this art. Now, what's interesting about this storyline is Batman gets introduced to his new bodyguard, Sasha Bordeaux, who's a new character, and she ends up being Bruce Wayne's bodyguard, and Bruce Wayne has to give her the slip and all that. She ends up pretty crucial in a lot of storylines in DC. I think she gets into Checkmate at some point. Pretty neat stuff. Just from a historical perspective, I love this storyline. Poison Ivy actually has this park. She's being nice to the kids, and of course they think it's a hostage situation. They've been ordered to use pesticide to get them out. Oh my gosh! And eventually, there's a piece that's kind of brokered out of this, and they get out. So the storylines actually work out pretty well. I like the writing quite a bit, even if I don't love the art. Part of it's the colors. And then you get a one-shot here where it's a weird filler issue where I guess there's this art program at Arkham Asylum, and Two-Face is making his own comics where he pretends he's a hero with Rene Montoya at his side with some funky art through this that makes it really hard to read. All the villains are Batman-looking villains, and that's it. And eventually, he saves the day as the hero, and they shut down the program at the end of it. So there's like a 2-page normal thing where they're reading the comic, and then you get into the comic that's like, I guess, Harvey Dent's comic. So weird issue to end it with. I liked most of the storylines in it, though. This is pretty solid stuff. Even though I don't love the art, gotta say it's 8 out of 10. It's good Batman. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this. Leave a comment down below, and we'll see you soon.